All right, Tyler Thompson, managing partner of Sadfish Games here. Just doing what is supposed to be a weekly report on how the company is doing. I did the first one 2 weeks ago and then couldn't even maintain the pattern for one full week afterward, and had to skip last week just because we were too busy with real world stuff to do to have time to sit down and film, never mind think about the week and the progress that had been made. So here we are, 2 weeks after the last video, and hopefully going forward we'll have a little more time to actually do this on a weekly basis, because I think it's very helpful for us to do it. Certainly keeps us on track, I think. Unfortunately, the past 2 weeks have been extraordinarily busy at work, certainly for me, and I believe similarly so for Owen and Tyler Urish, the other partners at the company. So progress has been fairly slim on most of our projects. Owen is making some finishing touches to Tachyon, our sci-fi game that we're working on, before that gets handed back to me to draft the final section and then send it off to editing and then finally publication. Hopefully, I'm hopeful in April, and if not, certainly by May, that will be finished and up online. Otherwise, I got a substantial chunk of work done on the skirmish game that we've been working on, much more than I thought I would, and that's almost fully drafted for a first draft. So I'm hopeful that by the end of March that will be sent off to editing, and then maybe here soon we'll be able to do some play testing, maybe on stream on our Twitch, which I think will be a lot of fun. I have a play tester in mind that I think I might work with on that. And then also we've begun work on a mini campaign for Zweihander based on a Creative Commons piece that I found. It's focused on preparing this sort of rural province for this incoming invasion of a small little army, but when you're a rural and ill-equipped area far from anybody else who could help, a small invasion is quite the dire invasion. And I think it'll be good. I think that'll turn out fun. That's about a third of the way drafted now. I'm hoping to have that ready for publication by mid-April, certainly for Zweihander, and then we'll probably also end up adapting that for Black Spear as well. So that's been the last 2 weeks for us. Better than I would have hoped as far as progress, although not as good as I ideally would like us to be. It's just been too busy. I've been pulling 10 or 11-hour days at work for the past 3 or 4 weeks most days, so just haven't had a tremendous amount of time. As far as sales, it's been a fairly lackluster couple of weeks for us. Not sure what it is exactly, but certainly we haven't released anything all that exciting or notable recently, so it's not too surprising that the sales numbers are reflecting that. Certainly doing better than last year at this time, which I guess is all that can really be asked for, so can't complain too much. Last week we released Camp Cairn for Zweihander, which is a adventure where the party is tasked with attacking this bandit camp, but with the explicit objective of not killing the bandits, instead taking them captive, which is sort of a different take, I think, on that sort of thing, where the task is almost always just to, slaughter the bandits with impunity. I think it turned out fairly well. That was one that we had a very talented freelancer help us out with for the first draft, and could hardly be more pleased with the end product. So that's up for Zweihander. I think our release for this week is going to be the Amazon version of Black Spear, the full game, for print on demand. It's been a hot topic on our Discord the past few weeks, this notion of diversifying our marketplaces to platforms other than DriveThruRPG, and I think it's important, and it seems to be panning out for other people who are trying it. So hard to ignore that reality. not being bound to the fate of drive-thru is probably a good idea. And if there's more money to be made on these other platforms, we'll do it. Of course, we're bound by exclusivity to drive-thru right now for digital products, but print we can, of course, do wherever we like. So we're just going to begin exploring that a little bit more. We don't have a lot of things that we'd like to put into print on demand elsewhere, but what we do have, we might as well start trying to do. So I'm hoping to get that up today. If not, then tomorrow. And then next week we'll probably release Camp Cairn for Blackspear. I think that's our schedule at this point, as we finish up these other projects that will then begin coming out in the weeks afterward. On Twitch, Owen finished Shibuya Scramble at long last. That's been quite the adventure of a visual novel that we've been playing since December, I think, maybe. Quite a while. It was a good ride. I'm excited to see what he's going to begin playing next on our Monday visual novel nights. I don't know. So, yeah, it's been a rough few weeks for us as far as getting things done. I'm hopeful this week, again, to have a close to full draft of that skirmish game, if not a full draft. That's sort of my objective. And then that mini campaign, I'd also like to get that probably halfway, 3/4 of the way done this coming week. And if not, then certainly the week after. As has been the last several weeks, the obstacle is going to be real life work. I think for all of us, it's just too time consuming. When you're working a 10 or 11 hour day, it doesn't leave you much energy for writing and managing a publishing company or, gosh, editing anything really. But that's life, I guess. It's just kind of the way it goes. So we'll see what we can make happen. I'm excited about a lot of the stuff that we've been working on. It just isn't quite getting to the finish line yet, but here soon. There's always the next week, and I think finally things are going to start toning down at work a little bit, at least for a short time. So maybe that'll allow me a little bit more opportunity. It's a lovely, lovely day here in St. Louis today. So lovely, in fact, that my neighbor is absolutely jamming to some horrible country music right outside this window. I'm hoping it doesn't come through the audio very clearly, but if it does, I apologize for torturing your ears with it. Not that I have anything special against country music, but this is a particularly bad batch of it from what I can tell on his playlist. So anyway, I will wrap up there for today, and hopefully next week have some more interesting things to talk about and mention. If not, then I'll just make the video anyway, instead of skipping a week like I did before. And we'll just keep trucking along. Take care.